Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Criterion Collection review series, where we're going through every movie in my personal Criterion Collection and reviewing them one by one. And today we're actually going over another documentary, a more conventional one, but still very important and influential for the entire filmmaking scene. And that would be 1994's Hoop Dreams, which is number 289 in the collection. And this was a film that when I first got it, I was in high school. It was either my junior or senior year, I'm not sure. And I remember enjoying it, but thinking it was really good, really well done. Didn't really leave a huge impact on me. And watching it again for the first time in probably 5 years, it's a movie that has really hit me. It's been really impactful for me. It's a movie that I really, really admire and really, I don't know. I think I finally see this for the incredible and powerful film that it truly is. So Hoop Dreams follows the lives of two inner city black kids in Chicago. You have Arthur and you have Williams, both of which have dreams of being in the NBA. And so they both try to go to high school at this Catholic private high school that's almost designed to recruit local boys to be in the NBA. And while Williams starts out on a high note and is impressing everybody with his skill and his talent, Arthur, on the other hand, is doing just okay. And at the end of the semester, when his family can't pay for the tuition, he is forced to go to a public school and play in their basketball program. And from there, that's essentially the first 20-30 minutes, I would say. And the film itself is almost exactly 3 hours. And the reason it is because you're following these boys from their freshman year to like the beginning of high school to the beginning of their college careers. And you follow them and their families and all the trials and tribulations that go on in their lives, not just on the court, but outside of it, and dealing with, well, quite honestly, being an impoverished black family in the United States in the early 90s. And what makes the film so impactful, and the reason why it's so important that it is a 3-hour film, is the fact that the directors are so hands-off. It's important to note that all three of the directors, who are Steve James, Frederick Marks, and Peter Gilbert, are all white men. But they never try to, I guess, encroach on the film or try to put themselves into the film in a sense. They simply let the families and the events play out and present it in a very empathetic and understanding way. Roger Ebert once called this film the great American film, and I think that's true because it really shows this intimate and, in-depth and complex life, not only of growing up in America, but growing up within systems that are designed specifically to put you down and trying to navigate through them. And what's so great about the film is that while there is narration, it's never there to pander, right? So, the narrator is Steve James, and he only comes into the film during basketball games to sort of inform you of what's happening or what the score is or the importance of this one play. Or it comes in to catch you up when there's been a time jump or time skip of sorts. He never explains the institutional racism to you. He never explains he never tells you how to feel about the scene or about what's happening, even though it's fairly obvious. One of the aspects of the film that really stands out to me is how a lot of the people in power, a lot of the administrators, coaches, teachers, just anybody, a lot of them are white, and a lot of them have a very offhands mentality, where anything happens to Williams or happens to Arthur, to their family, to their financial situation, to their bodies, anything that happens, they kind of just shrug at it. They're like, oh, well, I wish we could do more. They never really try to do anything about it or try to hold any responsibility. The only one that seems to really care about these kids and about what they're going through is the coach at the public high school, who is a black man, and he is very honest, very open, but clearly cares about this team and about these kids. And I think that's extended through the whole film. It's a very empathetic film that gives you a very full look at their lives, at what's going on with their families. How Arthur, his family is sort of broken up when his dad is arrested for possessing crack cocaine, and having to deal with that, and when his father gets out of jail, how the family deals with that. And you know, it's a movie that sort of undersells its big dramatic moments, where a normal narrative film or fiction film would make these very big moments, a lot of big encounters and very larger than life. This film plays them very, I mean, of course it's realistic, right? Like it's just filming what's happening, but they're very understated, they're very quiet. You know, there aren't a lot of big revelations, there aren't a lot of big arguments or fights, but I think that is the most powerful part of it, is how you can feel all the emotions simmering below the surface. And you can feel the tension, you can feel, you know, just by looking at these boys' faces, just by looking at how they're reacting to things, you can feel how they're feeling. And by juxtaposing these two boys' lives, where they both are giving different levels of privilege in their basketball careers, you know, you sort of see how the system is set up, and how deteriorating and hopeless it can feel sometimes. It's a film that understands the most fascinating part of life is just people and their dynamics and how they interact, and it's even more incredible when you can juxtapose two people who come from similar backgrounds and how the system treats them, and how they succeed and don't succeed. You know, the film doesn't try to play anything up or try to like over dramatize things. You know, they fail, they succeed. You are with them at the highest highs and the lowest lows. In this case, the film expresses that basketball is a lot more than just a sport, especially for these kids who are being told by society, by the system, by their environment, by everything, that they won't really amount to anything. That for them, you know, in a normal documentary or a normal film, a big accomplishment would be, you know, some great award, or if one of them did get in the NBA. But the big moments, the big celebrations is, you know, Arthur survives to be 18 years old, and a lot of his friends and family don't. The big celebratory moments are small in scale, but emotionally mean so much. I think that's what Hoop Dreams does so well, is has this incredible emotional depth of understanding that, you know, Hoop Dreams isn't just the dream to be in the NBA or the dream to be successful, but the dream to sort of have a stable life, to follow the American dream as it might be known, and like, you know, just to be respected, just to be heard, just to break out of these systems that again are designed to antagonize, designed to antagonize yourself as a black man. It's an incredible film that touches on so many topics. I apologize if my review is kind of scatterbrained. Hoop Dreams covers a lot of different things, but in very subtle ways, a lot of different topics. But I think the most important thing to know about it is that it is some of the most engaging 3 hours I've ever had the pleasure of watching. And at the end of the day, I think it understands that the most important part of sports isn't the sport itself, but what it represents in terms of the story of these people's lives. And here, you know, it represents the dream to excel and to succeed and to be above what society tells you you are and what you deserve. And I think it's just a powerful, powerful film that, you know, unfortunately is still powerful and impactful today, because not many movies, not many documentaries are this open and emotionally raw and understated and distant from the subject. Not in the director stayed distant from the subject, not in terms of intimacy, not in terms of empathy, but in terms of putting themselves in it. You know, they found the story after the film and then constructed it around that, rather than coming up with their own idea of how black people deal with the dreams of being in the NBA and playing sports. And I think it's a beautiful film because of that. And this Criterion release, if you love Hoop Dreams or if you're just watching it for the first time, is a really great addition, because there are kind of two main special features here that I really enjoy. you have the 40-minute documentary Life After Hoop Dreams, which takes footage that was filmed in 2004-2005, so 10 years after the initial release, where they catch up with Arthur and Williams and their families. At the same time, they also have interviews with the directors in 2014, which is when this Blu-ray came out, to sort of get more details on the filmmaking and their own opinions on where the family's gone. And that is absolutely fascinating, and it's so great to, spend 3 hours with these people and get so attached to them and really care about them and then see where it goes. And I think it's a really fascinating look at how fleeting success can be, and how, again, these systems work to exploit and keep black people down. It's fascinating. But then there's also this really great collection of scenes from Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert's show, where they talked about Hoop Dreams. So they basically spent a year almost every other week talking about Hoop Dreams and trying to convince people to go and see it because they loved it so much. And in fact, Roger Ebert included it as #1 of his favorite movies of the 90s, which I completely understand, and they were clearly enamored with the film and with its ability to depict life so earnestly and so empathetically. But then you also get two commentary tracks. One is with the filmmakers, the other is with Arthur and Williams, which I think is such an incredible idea and such a great addition to have with this film. But I haven't had a chance to listen to them, but I'm definitely going to the next chance I can. But then you also have deleted scenes, and you have a trailer for the film, and just things like that. But then you also get the booklet, which I can show it off. It's one of these fold-out booklets, which I'm not particularly a big fan of, but I appreciate this aspect of it, where it is showing that the, again, focusing on them, their dreams, their aspirations, almost like looking like it's almost like a photo album or like someone's wall. But then you also have these two incredible essays, both of which are written by black writers. So thank you, Criterion, for promoting the works of people of color. You have one from John Edgar Wideman, who talks about the film's depiction of the idea of hoop dreams and about metaphor, and the way it is able to sort of fully encapsulate the growing up as a black person and sort of what you can obtain in your goals, what that means. So again, talking about how Hoop Dreams is the quintessential coming-of-age American film. And then The Real Thing by Robert Greene is a really great essay talking about the film and its sort of artistic and cinematic aspirations and goals, where it's a film that conveys these metaphors and conveys these ideas by maturing with its subjects, where the filmmakers become more sophisticated in their editing, in their filmmaking, as the kids grow up as well, which again makes it so easy to become invested in their lives because they do a much better job at presenting their lives. What else is there to say? Hoop Dreams is a classic. It's the quintessential American documentary, the American film, as Roger Ebert put it. It's just a powerful film that I think everybody should watch. It should be shown in schools. It's just an amazing movie. It just has so much empathy, so much heart. It has so much love for this family and for wanting to shine a light on these systems and the way, society really puts down people of color, and the retreat that sports and dreams can have, and how crushing it can be to lose them, and trying to find the will to fight on, in a sense. But that's my very scatterbrain review of Hoop Dreams. What do you think about the film? Do you like it? Have you seen works by these other directors? Let me know down in the comments. If you like this video, please like it. If you want more people to see it, please share it. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Next week, we're going to be looking at a Japanese samurai film, not from Kurosawa. I'm just as surprised as you are. But it's the classic samurai film Harakiri, which I hope I said correctly, but we'll find out next time, I guess. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.